We're taking a look at a Petzl e+LITE. This is a pretty neat headlamp, and it's a sort of an emergency headlamp. Take a look at the stats on it. It's got 16 lumens, so it's not meant to throw light out, in a tactical scenario. But you can tell from the packaging, it's designed for emergency or survival type of situations. So it's got a couple of different settings. It's actually got 5 settings, 5 modes, and it's easily accessed through the dial that's here. So you could, I'll take a look at it here in a moment, but it seems like it'd be real easy to use even with gloves. You've got the economy, so the low light. You've got the maximum, so the highest brightness. Then you've got a blinking white light, a blinking red, and then you've got a high intensity red. And this is powered by LED, so it lasts for quite a long time, and you can see that it's going to last anywhere from 45 to 35 hours. So 45 hours on the economy setting, 35 hours of battery life on the maximum setting. So even if you use this at its maximum setting, it's going to last for quite a while. It uses 2 batteries, 2 CR2032 batteries, and they're included. That says they have a 10-year shelf life, which is good for something like this, because this is, again, made not necessarily for everyday use, but it's made to sit in storage until you need it. So the packaging is a piece of cardboard with some plastic bubbles, and it looks like the best way to open it is probably going to be going in through the bubbles. So we'll just cut into them here. This one I want to be a little more careful with because I don't want to scratch the container. My dog is barking at something. What are you barking at? Okay, maybe I'll go in from the sides before I scratch this thing all up. There we go, that was real easy. So I guess maybe I should have read this. It might have told me to do that, but I just cut into this raised area. You can see there's a raised area. I just cut into it and it peeled right apart. Not going to hurt the materials or anything that way. And it's got hopefully an unbreakable plastic holder there. And it looks like on a piece of cardboard here, I've got a wire clip on the back side of that lamp, and it's showing me with the little diagram here that would work on a hat, on the visor of a hat. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this, since it looks like this is some of my information. I'll keep this cardboard. And now let's take a look at the lamp here. Here's the little holder that it came with. And this is a rubber O-ring kind of wrapped around this pill-shaped container, and it'll pull off. Oh good, it looks like here's a set of instructions inside. And this is pretty heavy duty. I'm giving it quite a bit of tension there. I'm sure a kid could do it, but it's strong enough that this isn't going to accidentally open anywhere. And you can see that it's designed so that the O-ring isn't going to slip off or anything, but it looks like you could peel it off if you wanted to. I'm noticing that around the edge here, I might have to refocus to be able to see these, but it's giving me a little indication of SOS, OK, some hand signals to use. So that's interesting. They didn't waste their time. They can mold something onto the container, so they did. Taking a look at the instructions. It's one big piece of paper that folds open. And it looks like we're looking at instructions in at least 3 languages on the back, a couple more, 3 on the front, so 6 languages. The English section is this first section. It's basically a column and a half or so. It gives us more information. And this shouldn't be too difficult, but it's letting us know that the whistle / adjustment is also a tool to open up the back of the lamp. It's letting us know how the batteries go in. I'm guessing the batteries are probably already in it since I don't see them. And just telling us about the whistle, and it's telling us to store, you would stow the cover on a different way. Alright, so pretty good information. It gives us some minimum and maximum temperature extremes that it can work in. So we'll keep this. It looks like it has a 10-year guarantee. Can't ask for more than a 10-year guarantee on a product like this. So what we're looking at is a sort of a plastic base with a ball and socket joint there, and then the plastic base has this metal spring steel clip, which is what we saw on the cardboard before, and that's what would clip onto a brim of a hat, a ball cap. The plastic base also becomes the back of the strap as it goes around. So we'll go ahead and let the elastic strap come out of this piece of plastic, and it's a loop of elastic strap about a 1/2 inch wide, and there's sort of a sewn piece in the back here. So I don't know if anybody's ever worn something like this before, but if it were ever to lay flat against your skin, it's sometimes tough to get in there, especially with gloves. And what this will allow is, if it is stuck against you, it's real easy to pull away from your head or whatever. So we've got this red button here on the adjustment thing is a whistle. Pretty loud. Tells us in the instructions there that it's so many decibel. A 100 decibel whistle. So that's nice to have on the back of the adjustment thing here. And then you would just put the plastic base up front, go right around your forehead there, and adjust it to the size of your head, and it seems like it would real easily go around a helmet or a hat just as easily as well. If you had a bandana on, whatever, it looks like it's going to work just fine. And since it's on a ball and socket joint here, it's tight enough that it'll stay where you put it. That seems nice. And it'll also fold right back up, which would probably work if you were hiking or something, but if it wasn't perfect for when you were hiking, you could just aim it down a little bit more, aim it up a little bit more. I really like how that's on a little pivot. It goes from off to minimum to maximum, and then to the blinking white to blinking red as a signal, and then high intensity red, and then off again. That's a handy feature. So if you're going to be using the red for whatever reason, you can go quickly to off and then back to red, save your night vision for map reading, I suppose. The red blinking would be a great feature if you are hurt, or if you are just indicating your position as you're walking or hiking. Obviously the white would be the same. It's using 3 LEDs for that, so a bit brighter. Again, for trying to alert people to your location. Next we've got, the high. And there's, as I'm moving it, there are notches there that it's falling into. And I just had it between the notches there. So there's high, low, and then off again. And then if I pull it all the way back, it locks, and that's just sort of where it needs a little bit more pressure to bring it up to that off position. And again, you can see that if you were, depending on what you're doing, you can really set this ball and socket joint to point almost anywhere. You know, if you wanted to point it off to your left as you were doing something in this direction, you could have a map or something illuminated over here, and it wouldn't be in the way of your vision straight ahead. I can see a lot of uses for this little emergency light. It's very substantial. It wouldn't be anything I'd call, you know, only for emergencies or a cheap thing by any means. I'm going to go ahead and use the whistle thing here as a tool to open up the back, and there's a rubber washer around there. That's pretty nice. Batteries are under some amount of spring tension, it seems like. They popped right out. There's an indication there on the bottom that the negative goes in first. Goes right back in though, locks back into place, easy enough, and we're right back to using it, no problem. And after using it for a little while, we figured out this is the way that it's supposed to go on. So it's very heavy duty. I'm going to go ahead and stow it a little bit here. Had the phone ring there in the middle of that video, so I just went ahead, and as I was on the phone, I was just sort of playing with this, and it was real easy to fit it all back into this little container. The cord, I mean, obviously it's made to fit in here, so it all kind of just fit in. I just sort of slid the light folded up into its own back plate there. I just folded it back up, put it in. The little whistle adjustment thing fits right up on top of the light, no problem. And then if you just take a moment to wind the cord up on itself, which just takes a second, it just, like I say, it's obviously made to fit here. It just kind of fits right in there. And then it's super easy to just put the top back on. I kind of did it in a hurry there. I could have done it a little bit neater. But I just set the top back on. I suspect it's probably waterproof because this is so tight. And it's got a little loop. I don't want to even call it a clip because it is contained on both sides, so it's fairly sturdy. You know, you could feed this through something and have this available. I think this is a real handy idea. I think they're about 30 bucks, right around 30 bucks. So I think these are real handy. We'll probably end up getting a few of these. Being in the red color, this is ideal for a first aid kit, in my opinion. This is ideal for having in the glove box of a car. Even if you keep a bag with you with something, having something like this as an extra is a great idea. Your batteries can always go dead, or you know, you have someone in the passenger seat who could use it. So it's a Petzl e+LITE, like E for emergency, and then L-I-T-E. Handy little, easy to use headlamp. Comes in a storage container there. I also noticed while I was on the phone that you've got the 3 dots, 3 dashes, and 3 dots for SOS written on the side of the whistle. So again, if you're in an emergency situation, you're trying to signal, it's real easy to pull this out, set it to flash a signal, and you're all set. Now we're looking at the Petzl e+LITE. Again, this is the way it would fit on the head with the whistle slash adjustment back there with the ball and socket joint on the bottom. And then this way, when you have the light on, you know, if you're casting your gaze this way, you don't have the light shining you don't have the light shining here. You can bring the light to focus in right where your eyes are focused to. Or if you're looking down, again, you can adjust the light really wherever you want it. I can have it set over here so I can glance down and see what something says on a book or something. Folds right up, fits real comfortably there. Doesn't really weigh anything. 27 grams. So the Petzl e+LITE.